the existing application. So this is an example BRD. It will not be exactly similar, like it will contain the details what actually we have to perform in the existing system. So consider existing, there is a registration functionality. So the new requirement is we have to add a few fields to the existing registration page. So then they'll provide a BRD. That BRD document contains, so we have these existing fields below, they'll list that existing fields, and below that they will provide the new fields that to be added for the existing registration form. So that level of in detail explanation will be there in the BRD. Okay. So here we have example BRD, that is like employee data integration and analysis system. This is the requirement. So they're asking build a system with using PySpark to analyze employee attendance, salary and location data. So the system must ingest data from various formats. So the system should read the data from tuples, lists, dictionaries, JSON, whatever format it may be, and it should clean the data and transform it. So and they're asking apply business logic using UDF. So they are asking us to use user-defined functions, and they are asking to use joins, aggregations, and generate department level and employee level insights. So insight means like department level and employee level data. Okay, this is the basic requirement they are asking. So in this, like specifically they are asking us to use these functionalities. Okay, here they are asking data ingestion. So they are asking us to read the data from the tuple list into RDD. So RDD we have seen that how we have like a data frame, we have RDD, data structure. So they are asking like these are the fields, and they are asking to create the data from different actions they have mentioned. So we have to perform all these actions. Okay, this is example BRD, business requirement document. Okay, so we'll start working on this. So as we do not have any data, like we'll take some random data and we'll perform all these operations. Create a new file. I'll rename it. So here we'll start working with this part now. So everyone knows, like first we have to please parallelly work in your system also. Everyone. Hope everyone joined with the laptop itself. So from PySpark.sql, we input the Spark session. From PySpark.sql.functions, we'll input. So different functions, they're asked us you to use user-defined functions, and we need to access the columns like different. Like we'll for now I have mentioned two. Based on our logic, we'll add a few more options here. And from PySpark.sql.types, so we'll use input. So import star. So this means like it will import all the types present inside this library. So now first we'll create this Spark session. So Spark equals to Spark session dot builder dot app name. So employee data integration system and analysis system dot get or create. In this way we have created the session. Now we need to create the data, employee data. So I'll create employee data in the form of list. So in this list, similar to our previous examples, we will use the tuples. And in the same names, Alice. So the department is third column HR, and the dates. So these are the joining dates. So here this is the joining date of Alice. Next we'll provide the salary. So salary will provide in the form of floating points. So here in this way we'll create a few records. So I'll create 5 records. So Alice, Bob, Charlie, David and E. Finance, IT department, HR, and again we have one more finance department. We change the joining dates 2023. So here I will not mention any salary, I will just add none. So here wantedly we are missing the salary. No, I'll update this date 20.
So this Spark session line, like Spark session dot builder dot app name. So I don't know what it will do. Builder dot app name.
So
Yes.
to create the session we have to, this is the inbuilt method they have provided. So in this Spark session, so ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే PySpark.sql అనేది ఒక లైబ్రరీ కదా. సో ఆ లైబ్రరీలో స్పార్క్ సెషన్ లో మనకి ఈ మెథడ్ వాళ్ళు క్రియేట్ చేశారు ఇన్బిల్ట్ గా.
ఓకే,
ఇది ఒక మెథడ్. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏమనుకున్నాం ఇక్కడ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటి? సో ఇక్కడ మనకి వీళ్ళు ఏం చెప్పారంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు యూస్ యూజర్ డిఫైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్. అంటే ఇక్కడ యూజర్ డిఫైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్ అంటే మనం ఏదైనా నేమ్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం కదా. సో అలానే ఈ స్పార్క్ ఎవరైతే డెవలప్ చేశారో వాళ్ళు యాప్ నేమ్ అని ఒక మెథడ్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు.
ఓకే,
బిల్డర్ డాట్ యాప్ నేమ్, ఇది ఒక మెథడ్ అనమాట. సో ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ మెథడ్ ని మనకి ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక నేమ్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటామో స్పార్క్ సెషన్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి, అప్పుడు వాళ్ళు క్రియేట్ చేసిన మెథడ్ ని మనం యూజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నాము. ఓకే, సో ఇన్ షార్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ సింటాక్స్. సో ఇప్పుడు లిస్ట్ ఎందుకు మనం స్క్వేర్ బ్రాకెట్స్ లోనే రాస్తున్నాం అంటే సింటాక్స్. సో దీన్ని సింటాక్స్ అని అంటాము, బట్ బిహైండ్ లైక్ ఆ సింటాక్స్ కి రీజన్ ఏంటి అంటే వాళ్ళు ఈ మెథడ్ ఇన్బిల్ట్ గా రాశారు. సో ఆ రాసిన మెథడ్ మనం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి అలానే యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం. So here I'll update the date. Okay, so here I have the employee data in the form of a list of tuples. Here we'll mention list of tuples. So now we have to create the RDD. First we'll create the RDD. Employee underscore RDD equals to, how to create the RDD? Spark dot, we have to call the Spark context. Remember, Spark context dot parallelize. This is the method for creating the RDD. So we can directly write here, or we can, before itself we can create temporary variable SSC or any S equals to Spark dot context. Directly like that also we can use. So here parallelize. This parallelize will take the employee data, employee underscore data. So in this way we have created the RDD. So how to see that RDD now? What is the method to see RDD? Collect. So here we are able to see the RDD now. So collect is a method to view the data inside the RDD. Parallel is a method to create the RDD from raw data. So now we have got the data. So data ingestion, we have loaded the data from list tuple list into our RDD. So these are the fields. We have employee ID, name, department, joining date, and salary. So in RDD we will not be having any column names, right? So that's the reason we do not have any columns. But we have these fields. All the values we have this. Now data frame creation and cleaning. So they're asking us to convert the RDD into a data frame with proper schema. Okay, to create the schema we need struct type, struct field. So we need them. So for that, now we need to create the data frame from the RDD. So how to create the data frame? Before creating the data frame, they are asking us to define the schema with proper schema. So before performing the data frame creation, we have to define the schema. So how to define the schema? Give some variable name, struct type. So in this we have to provide the fields, struct fields. So struct field. What is our first parameter? Employee ID. And then integer type. So employee ID is integer type and true. So it cannot be null. So it cannot be empty like that. So here I'll create 5 struct fields. So one is employee ID, the second one is employee name, and third one is the department, and joining date. So the last one is salary. And here, so employee ID is integer type, name will be string type. And again department will be string type. And then joining date. Joining date, first we will take it as a string type, later we will do the conversion, date time conversion. We have inbuilt methods, right? So we will use that. By default, we have taken it as a string type. And salary will be in floating points. So we will use double type. So now we have defined the schema. So what next? We have to create the data frame. So using this, we'll create the data frame. Employee data frame equals to, what is the method? Spark dot. We have one inbuilt method. What is that? Create data frame. This is the method name that is present inside this Spark. So create data frame. We have to pass our employee data. Okay, employee data is the list of tuples. We have RDD, right? So we will use this RDD. We'll convert that RDD into the data frame. So including this, like we have to pass our schema. Okay, no, this will create the data frame. We'll see how to emp underscore df dot show. So here if you see, we got the data frame. We have defined the schema. So the first one is we have took the list of tuples. From that list of tuples, we have created the RDD and we have defined the schema, and using that RDD and schema, we have created the data frame. Okay. So in our BRD, till where we got, till we have covered here. So we have done the data ingestion, data frame creation, and cleaning is pending now. So replace null or missing values with the average salary. So when we are working with pandas, we have done this, how to replace missing or null values with any specific values or averages. So we have to perform that. So at one position in this data frame, we have null value. So we have to replace this with the average of the salary. So how to perform that? Replace null salary with average salary. Hope everyone are parallelly doing the code. So now how to calculate the average salary? Here average salary equals to employee underscore df. So how to get the average salary? Employee df dot select. We have method avg.
Select average, AVG.
So average of salary. Okay. So now we'll close this parenthesis we have closed. In this, we'll get in the form of a list, right? So again the response will in the form of a list, so that we'll access the first value. So first of that 0. So this will get the first value. Now we have to replace this average salary. So now our average value is stored in this variable. So now we have to replace this null with the average salary. So emp underscore df equals to emp underscore df dot. What is the method to fill null values with any specific values? Anyone remember? So I want to fill some null value with the average value or some specific number. Fill NA, yeah, correct. So this fill NA method we'll use, and inside that we'll pass the value. So here I'll mention the salary. So what is the salary? Average underscore salary. Then we'll close this. This is closed. Now we'll check the data frame emp underscore df dot show. So here I have used avg, but above we did not define that. So here, if you remember, we have to import that, right? So otherwise we'll get the error. So we'll copy this, we'll paste it here, and we'll execute again.
Sir, I don't know it's my problem or your problem. Every time your screen got freeze.
Others also facing same issue. Can you confirm?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So here, Akshay, like, can you rejoin?
My, I will join.
Okay. So meanwhile, like others, like, so tomorrow everyone, like, I want everyone to prepare your self-introduction. So self-introduction. So the self-introduction should contain like your part, like your name and your graduation details. If you have worked any like projects in your present organization details, overall experience. So the self-introduction should contain your name, your place, and okay, stop every time. Just name, place, and current organization details, technologies you know, and what else, like so overall experience, like how many years do you have experience? And yeah. So what are the skills you technologies. So this should contain name, place. Okay, and one more thing is from where you have done your just you are done with graduation. Like I am Kishore, I have completed my graduation in so and so organization, like in so and so institute, like that. Your graduation, no need of mentioning the year, completion year. Just to say you are graduated in from CSC, like I am graduated the stream of CSC BTech, like that. Just simple, like no, do not mention any year of passing, like that. Just provide minimum details. So if you provide minimum details, even if you provide minimum details, like it should take some more time. At least it should take 1 minute of time. So if you provide minimum details, like they will go in detail. So if you tell that I am working for a Wipro or Infosys, so then they'll go into deep, like they'll ask, so which project you are working. So if you mention project here itself, like some time will be saved by them, right? So they can ask more number of questions. Understood, right? సో మీరు ఏంటంటే ఇందులో మినిమం డీటెయిల్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే చెప్తారో వాళ్ళకి ఇంకా డీటెయిల్స్, ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ మీరు చెప్తారు, అప్పుడు దాంట్లో మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు అనేది వాళ్ళు అడిగాకనే మీరు చెప్పాలి, ముందే చెప్పొద్దు. జస్ట్ మీరు రోల్ చెప్పాలంటే ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ యాజ్ డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్, అట్లా ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ యాజ్ డేటా ఇంజనీర్ ఇన్ సమ్ కంపెనీ నేమ్. సో ఇలా మెన్షన్ చేయాలి. ఎగ్జాక్ట్ ఈ సెంటెన్స్ అని కాదు, జస్ట్ హై లెవెల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. టెక్నాలజీస్ మీకు ఏమొచ్చు, లైక్ PySpark, పైథన్, Azure, అలా టెక్నాలజీస్ మెన్షన్ చేయండి. ఓకే, బోత్ టెక్నాలజీస్ అండ్ స్కిల్స్ మెన్షన్. And overall experience, how many years of experience you have. So all these details should be contained that in that self introduction. Okay, and apart from that, they will ask you what are your roles and responsibilities. So you prepare and come tomorrow, like if any changes required, we'll discuss in the class. Roles and responsibilities. Okay, in your current organization. And one more thing is, so whatever the project you have mentioned in your resume, they'll ask in detailed questions, project details, project explanation or project details. So they'll ask what kind of or if you put roles and responsibilities, those details they'll ask. If you put project details, like if you put project, they'll ask you about the project. So whatever you put in your resume, you should be 100% confident. You cannot you cannot be less confident. So they should, even if you did not work on that responsibilities, you should be very confident that they will trust you. Okay, so please try to prepare all these things by tomorrow class. Self introduction, roles, and so write in some document. Just don't prepare on the go. So even I don't want your document, just keep it with you. I just want your self introduction, that's all. I want everyone to say self introduction, that's all. But keep it in a document for your purpose. Because if you don't put in a document, every time when someone asks you self introduction, every time you will change your self introduction. So today you will tell one self introduction. Tomorrow on the go, whatever you will frame, you will tell a different sentences. So instead of that, if you prepare a well organized self introduction, for every interview you can tell the same introduction, right? So that will look decent. And
Okay, sir.
remember about this overall experience. And they will ask about your notice period also. So you can say like like if you say, instead of saying immediate joining, you can say within 15 days or 1 month, you can say. So like that you can say. Regarding that notice period, you can discuss with Akshay or Pranay, but like that you can say, that's all. Okay,
Just sir కన్ఫర్మ్ చేస్తారా నాకు ఇంత ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెట్టిండ్రు?
అది ఒకసారి మీరు ఓకే, నేను ఒకసారి చేసి ప్రణయ్తో డిస్కస్ చేసి మీకు చెప్తాను.
ఆ రోజు మీరు 2.5 అని చెప్పింది సార్.
2.5 పెడితే అదే చెప్పండి.
మీరు 2.5 అని చెప్పిండ్రు, మే 3 అని అన్నాడు. మరి ఏది
ప్రణయ్ చెప్పింది ఫైనల్ అండి. ఎందుకంటే ఆ రోజు మేము ఫస్ట్ అది జస్ట్ ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ ప్రిపరేషన్ కోసం మేము తీసుకున్నాము. తర్వాత మీకు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లెటర్స్ అవన్నీ ప్రణయ్ హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తారు కదా. సో తను చెప్పింది మీరు కన్సిడర్ చేయండి ఆ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ రిలేటెడ్.
సార్ 3 years ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంటే కొంచెం టెన్షన్ ఉంది. 2.5 సరిపోతుందా అని అనిపిస్తుంది.
మీకు అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ 2.5 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అయినా 3 years అయినా సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారు మీకు. కాకపోతే 2.5 పెడితే ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు అంటే ఎక్కువ నాలెడ్జ్ లేదేమో అని ఒక ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుంది. 3 అని అనిపిస్తే కొంచెం ఎక్కువ ఇంకా ప్రిఫర్ చేయొచ్చు, ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఒకసారి చూడండి, తను ఎంత బెటర్ నాకు ఐడియా లేదు. ఒకసారి తనతో డిస్కస్
అని చెప్పండి సార్.
ఓకే, ఈ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని మీరు ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, టెక్నాలజీ ఇవన్నీ ఒకసారి మీరు క్లియర్ గా ఫ్రేమ్ చేసుకోండి సెంటెన్సెస్.
కాల్ వచ్చింది సార్.
ఓకే, మీరు ఏమడిగారు? క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏమైనా అడిగారు?
అయితే మీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ డీటెయిల్స్ ఏం మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు రెజ్యూమ్ లో అని అడిగింది సార్.
ఓకే, ఏం చెప్పారు?
అంటే నేను ఐ ఫర్గాట్ టు మెన్షన్ ఇట్ లేటర్ అని చెప్పి చెప్పిన. రెజ్యూమ్ లో మెన్షన్ చేసిందా లేదా నాకు తెలియదు. అంటే రెజ్యూమ్ ప్రిపేర్
మీరు రెజ్యూమ్ చూడలేదా?
చూడలేదు సార్.
మరి మీరు అంటే రెజ్యూమ్స్ మీరు తీసుకోవాలి కదా. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ రెజ్యూమ్ లో, సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ రెజ్యూమ్ యూ షుడ్ బి వెల్ ప్రిపేర్డ్. సో రెజ్యూమ్ లో ఉన్న ప్రతి వర్డ్ మీకు ఐడియా ఉండాలి. మీ రెజ్యూమ్ లో ఏ వర్డ్ ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ పుట్ ఎ వర్డ్ ఇన్ యువర్ రెజ్యూమ్ యూ షుడ్ టాక్ అబౌట్ దట్ వర్డ్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఫర్ 2 minutes. అంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ రెజ్యూమ్ అనేది. ఓకే, సో ఫస్ట్ రెజ్యూమ్, సో ఎవరైనా ఫస్ట్ go through your resume, whatever in that resume, first prepare that, whatever the roles and responsibilities you have added in that resume, prepare that. Okay, we will complete out of the topic. Okay, so we'll discuss, just prepare self introduction and roles and responsibilities by tomorrow class.
Okay,
so here now we are filling this null salary with average salary. So for that we have used AVG, right? Average method. So we have to define, we have to import that AVG. We will execute this. Okay. PDF. Okay, just a minute. Replace null value. First we are calculating the salary. Select employee df dot select avg of salary. Here we have added one parenthesis. We have closed this. First of 0. Okay, we are getting this. Then employee df input of fill. Okay, we are opening the fill method. We are using this floor basis salary colon average salary. Okay, PDF don't show. It is not working. Just a minute, I am checking this. Execute this then.
you have assigned in wrong data frame.
EMPDF is our data frame, right? Here EMPDF employee data frame is my actual data frame, right? That is my data frame, right? EMPDF, I have defined EMPDF only, right? EMP underscore DF. Okay, understood. Okay, sorry. This variable I put it wrong. Okay, thanks. Okay, understood. Yeah. So here we have replaced this with average salary. No, our average salary of this salary column is 61,250 rupees. Okay, so here we are done with this step now. Which one? Data frame creation and cleaning. So we have replaced our null value with average salary. No, data handling. Convert the joining date string to date type, and then extract year and month from the date. So now we'll perform that. So how to convert the joining date from string to date format? And you can anyone remember what is the inbuilt function we have to import for that? Converting from string to date. In the sentence itself, we have the answer. String to date. So emp underscore df equals to emp underscore df. Okay. So here emp underscore df. I want to add a new column for that. So here we have joining date, right? Okay. I'll convert this. Now this column is in a string format. How we know that it is a string format? Here we have manually defined that one as a string. So I want to use with column and update this joining date into date format from string. So for that, okay, with column we'll use joining underscore date, and we'll call the method. So here we'll call one method. What is that method? To convert into date, to underscore date. This is the method. So this method will accept the column joining underscore date, comma, it needs the format y, and if you remember dd, the same conversion we have done previously also. So here I have mentioned this one now. Continue from here now with column. So what we want to perform? Joining underscore date, and we want the year. So they are asking us to extract year and month from the date, right? So here itself I'll extract year. So for year extracting we'll use the year method and we'll just write our column name, that's all. Joining underscore date, and we'll close this and write in one more method. Just a minute. Sorry. So now, yeah. So for extracting year, we will use year method. Similarly, for extracting the what we have to extract year and month, right? So for extracting month, we use just month method. Column of we use join underscore date, comma month of joining date. That's all. So now we are able to we'll extract this. Okay, for that. So now we are using to date, right? We are using to date year month. We have to import that. So we'll import that. We have to import to underscore date year and month. Function object has no with column. PDF. Whatever. Okay, we'll execute everything once again. Month of joining date. Month of. Okay, here there is some error. Okay. Our column name is joining date, JON date, MMDD format. We are closing the parenthesis, and then we are coming to the next line with column again with column correct joining date, and then year joining date, and then we are closing the parenthesis. We come to the next line for getting month. We have written the joining date. Here we have closed month. Here we have added month. Joining underscore date. We are closing this. Take here. Cannot resolve month due to type mismatch and parameter date. Let's type int. Here we have mentioned string type. Throwing error. Just a minute, we'll try till here. We are getting error for month. Okay, let's see. PDF. Okay, null. What is happening here?
We have used joining date 2 times with column joining date, and again we have used with column joining date. Next would be joining year.
Okay, yeah. So joining year. So that okay, we already it is null. I'll execute this. Okay, so we got the joining year now. Similarly, I'll add the joining month. So here we have to add this slash, and in this way I'll add the month. We'll call the month method. So now, like I've got the joining year and month. We have extracted this year and month. So from this, we are done with this data handling, converting joining date string to date type and extracting the year and month. So now my next function requirement is business logic with UDF. They're asking us to create a user-defined function to compute salary after 10% tax deduction. Okay, without NumPy. Okay, this is not needed actually. Okay. So here, salary after 10% tax deduction. So here, consider like consider salaries 1 lakh. So for 1 lakh is the total salary, the gross salary. So this is the gross salary. In this, we will be having two components. One is the tax, it will be, one more is the net salary. So here, tax will be 10%, means 10,000. And the net salary will be 90,000. So they are asking us to calculate in this way. So they are asking, what they are asking here? They are asking to define a function that calculates the salary after 10% tax deduction. So if salary is 1 lakh, so this UDF should remove 10% from that and give the remaining net salary. That is called as net salary. Okay. So our function should give us a net salary. Understood? So to get the net salary, what we have to do? We have to remove 10% tax from this gross salary. So existing salaries are the gross salaries. Understood? So we'll create a function for that. So here, how to define a function? Keyword def space will like compute, right? Salary after tax. Okay, I want to give my method as this name, and this method needs the salary, right? So this salary should be the gross salary, so that it will give the net salary. So here it should return, what it should return? Salary into 0.9. That's all, right? So 1 lakh into 0.9 is 90,000. Understood, right? So here we have defined the user defined function. Okay. So now salary underscore UDF, but directly we cannot call. So we have to create a variable that that uses the UDF. So using this variable, we can call this function salary underscore UDF equals to UDF. This is the syntax for a user defined function. UDF of that method compute underscore salary underscore after tax. So this is the method name, and then we have to call. We have to inform the type. What type of output we are expecting from this method? We are expecting double type, right? This can be in floating points. So we are expecting the double type from the method as a response. So now we have salary.udf. We have the user defined function in a variable now. So using this variable, we can call the method. So here emp underscore df equals to emp underscore df dot, we'll add one new column, we'll replace the existing column, or else we can add. So already this is a gross salary, right? So by mentioning as after 10% tax, we'll create one more column with column. So here we'll mention salary after tax deduction. Okay, salary after tax, can salary underscore UDF. So here we have just pass the salary. So once we write this salary UDF, so this will be triggered from this user defined function will be executed. So compute salary after tax. This is a user defined method. So it will get the salary column as the input. So for every input, it will return the output, like so 50,000, 90, like 0.9 into 50,000. It will return the response, and all the responses will be added in the new column. emp underscore df dot show. So here after the tax deduction, this is the net salary. Okay, what it will calculate? To calculate the net salary after 10% tax deduction. Understood, right? So now we are done with tax deduction. So business logic, define user defined function to compute salary after 10% tax deduction. Next, attendance data. So load attendance records from a list of dictionaries and convert into a data frame. So here, previously, what we have done, we got the list of tuples to create the RDD for employees data. For attendance data, they are asking us to create a list of dictionaries and convert that list of dictionaries into a data frame. Now we'll perform that. So first we'll create the list of dictionary, first we'll create the list of dictionaries. Convert to DF, right? So here attendance data I'll create in the form of list. Inside that list we should be having dictionary. Dictionary means key value pairs. So emp underscore id 1, then days present, so here this is a dictionary key value pair. So days present equals to 20. So this is my first employee attendance. Similarly, I'll create other employees. So employee 2, employee 3, 4, 5. And days present, first one is 20, 18, 21. So this is the attendance data. That is a list of dictionaries I have taken. Now we have to create the data frame from this attendance data. So how to create the data frame? Attendance underscore df equals to spark dot create data frame. So for this data frame we need to pass our attendance data underscore data. So we'll see the attendance data. So here if you are able to see the attendance data. So we are done with this loading attendance records from the list of dictionaries and converting it into a data frame, and the fields are present in this are employee ID and days present. So the same fields we have created, days present and employee ID. Okay, so what is the next step? So next step is they're asking us to perform the inner join between employees and attendance data using the employee ID. So anyhow, to perform join we need to have common column, that is employee ID. So in this existing data frame of that employee details we have employee ID. In the attendance data also we have employee ID. Using this column we have to perform the inner join. So our task is perform inner join between employee and attendance data. Inner join employee df and attendance df. So you remember, I'll create a variable join df equals to emp employee df dot join. So join is a method, inbuilt method. So in that, this is our first data frame. This data frame we have to join with the attendance data frame. Attendance underscore df, and on which column we have to perform the join, that we have to mention here, emp underscore id. Hope you remember all this from our previous classes. Join is a method. It should accepting one data frame will be present first, for which we have to join. That second data frame should be inside this method. And what is the common column between them? So common column between these two data frames is employee ID. We'll mention that on employee ID. And then we have to mention how to perform the join operation. We have many join operations, inner, outer. So like that we have. So here they are asking us to perform inner join operation. So we have to mention the inner join operation. So we'll see the join underscore df dot show. So here if you see days present also, the two data frames are joined. We have employee ID and how many days the Alice has present, days 20. So respective days present we are able to see now. So join operation is done between employee data frame and the attendance data frame. Okay. So what next? So the next one is they are asking us to perform the aggregations. Oh, it's 10:05. Shall I continue or you want me to continue tomorrow? Please confirm.
How much time will it take?
10 more minutes.
Continue.
Okay. So here, inner join. We have performed inner join between employee data frame and the attendance data frame. So we are done with this join operation. Now we'll go through the aggregations. So they are asking us to calculate the average salary after tax and average attendance for each department. Okay. So average salary after the tax and average attendance for each department. So we already have the average salary, but they are asking us for each department. They are asking us. So how to perform that aggregation? So here to perform department level aggregation. So on which column we have to perform this group by? So here I already told you. Here they are asking for each department. For each department means our group by should be on the department column. Okay. So, perform department level aggregations. So how to perform that? Aggregate data frame equals to so we need a final data frame, right? Join df. So for join df we are performing the group by operation. So group by which column we have to perform? Department column. Okay. For department column, what are the aggregation we have to perform? Open this method. So aggregations. I want to calculate the average salary. This is my first method. We'll expand it. One more thing, what average? I want to perform average of days present. So first one, how to get the average salary? Salary after tax. So they're asking us after tax only, right? So average salary after tax. So means we already have the salary after tax for each department. So we are using that column, salary after tax. And here our second requirement is to calculate the average of days present. So days present also we have one column. So these two averages we have to calculate, and I want to give some specific name. So alias name I want to give. For both I want to give the alias name. So in this way we will call the alias method. So alias method we can mention the whatever name we want, we can mention that name. Average salary after tax, I want to mention this name. And here I want to mention average like days present. So here I have mentioned. So in this way we have calculating the aggregations. Now we'll see aggregate underscore df dot show. So here, okay. So here average is again we have to import that, right? Okay, we already, okay, this one we execute. Just I'll execute it. Okay, perhaps you forgot a comma.
There should be comma between two headings.
Okay. Thank you. Now we got the department. So department wise average salary after the tax deduction and department wise average days present. So who have the highest attendance from this data frame? IT department have the highest attendance. So if they want to take some action against who have low attendance or send emails for them, they can directly send emails for the HR or finance department. So saying that this particular teams has less days present for the office. Those kind of like whatever work they want to perform, they can perform by seeing this group by like these aggregations. Okay, if they want, like if some person, like if the CEO come and ask the team, so I want to know for which team we are giving high pay in our organization. So how to get that? By seeing this, like they can calculate the average salary and they can say, so for for IT team we are paying more, for HR we are paying least salaries, for finance it is mid-level salaries we are providing. So those kind of decisions they can take. So if you consider like a real-time Amazon website, so if Amazon website CEO he want which are the like which of the if you consider like a clothing, which brand we are which brand is selling more from our website. So if he can see from that data frame, so okay, they can see from the data frame this particular cloth brand is selling most. So like that they can take the decisions. So which clothing brand is performing least, so that they can remove from Amazon. Anyhow it is not most selling, they want to remove from the Amazon, they are not getting the profits. So those kind of crucial decisions they can take from this analysis. Okay, it may be a simple data frame for us, but this is a very important data for the business team. Okay, as a developer, for us it's just a numbers, but for business team it is not the numbers. It is a very important data for them to take their decisions in the organization. Okay, so this is the aggregations we have performed. Next, so they are asking location enrichment from JSON. So they are asking us to get the location data from the JSON string. So here it may be JSON string or JSON file, but here they are asking us to get the location data from the JSON string, and they are asking us to join this with the main employee attendance data frame using a left join. Okay, so here now we need the JSON data. So we want the location data. So we have seen the RDD, and later we have seen the list of list of dictionaries, list of tuples. Now we'll see the JSON format. So here location data in JSON string format. So how to define JSON str? So to define JSON str, this is the format we'll be having. So in this way we'll define the values. So here this format will create the JSON data. So JSON data also will be in the form of key values. So this format, so this square braces and dictionary, like a dictionary format. Here key values. So here we'll mention the EMP-ID, and then we'll be having the EMP-ID and then location. So New York. Close panel. Then we'll copy this. We'll create for 5 employees. So 1, 4, 5. Okay. Now we'll update the locations. Francisco. Very different name. I can give same name, but again we'll be confused with how will the operation perform. So here we have defined the JSON string now. Now I want to load this JSON data into, first we'll convert this into a RDD. Then we'll convert that RDD into a data frame. So how to convert this JSON string into RDD? So we have one strong method, that is parallelize. It will convert even JSON data to the RDD. So previously what our parallelize method has done in previous, our parallelize method converted this list of tuples into RDD. So the same method also can convert JSON string into the RDD. So first we'll load our JSON data into the RDD. First we'll load JSON data into the RDD. So how to perform that? JSON underscore RDD is equals to, so what is it? Spark context dot parallelize. So this method will accept our JSON thing. So here we have to mention in the form of list JSON underscore str. Okay, we have closed parenthesis. Then from this we have to create our location data frame. Location underscore df is equals to spark dot. Okay, so now we have the JSON RDD spark dot read dot JSON. So to create a data frame, we have to read the data in the form of JSON. So now we have JSON, right? This is the actual JSON data. So JSON underscore RDD. So in this way, we have created the location data frame. Now we'll see the location data frame. Dot show. So here we have used parallelize method read.json. That's all right. Okay. What happened? Corrupted. JSON str. Okay. This. JSON str places employee ID, MP ID we have mentioned. One. Location. New York. ID. Okay, I did not remove the comma from this last record. That's why I got this. So here we are able to create the location data frame with employee ID and the location details. Okay. So here as I copied each and every record, I copied this comma. I forgot to remove it. So here if you see our location enrichment from JSON, we have loaded our data from the JSON string and we have converted that JSON into the data frame. Now, what is our next step? They are asking us to do the left join. Join this main employee attendance data frame using a left join. So how to perform it? So our final data frame equals to join df is our altogether data frame, right? This is our all data frame. This contains everything, including the days present also, with the salary after tax. So they're asking us to join this with the location details using the left join. So join method we have to call. What we have to pass? We have to pass the location data frame, second data frame. That is location data frame, and we have to mention on employee ID. Here employee ID we have, right? So the same again, we have to mention the emp underscore ID, and then we have to mention the join type. I want to perform left join. I mention the left join. Now we'll see the final data. Here I have performed the left join. So here we have to see employee ID, name, department, joining date, salary, joining year, month, and even salary after the tax, days present, location. Everything we are able to see here. Okay. So this is our. So the last step is just to display the details. So this for every step we have done, right? So display the enriched employee data frame and aggregated department-wise statistics. So in the same steps we are done. Department-wise statistics, this aggregation, and this is the final data frame. We are done with this 9th step also. That's all. So hope everyone understood this sample BRD, like how to perform different action based on the requirement. So tomorrow I'll try